I really didn't think I was going to end up making this video, not at least straight away anyway, but it's new gear day. So the Line 6 HX Stomp XL just arrived on my doorstep, and I thought I would document my first few days with it. I don't know what's going on. I really wanted to try one of these out ever since the kind of standard Stomp came out. I didn't plan this to be an unboxing video, but apparently it is. Alright, it's actually smaller than I thought it would be. So there you go. The XL. I don't really know how this works, and you know, there's snapshots and presets in banks and stuff. I'm not really sure how I'm going to use it. I'm actually really excited to get to know a new piece of gear.
3 weeks later.
I guess I underestimated how much time you can sink into one of these units, but after a month of using it pretty solidly, I am obsessed with it. You know, I've played more guitar in the past month than I have in probably for a year. It's seriously inspired me as a guitar player and a tone searcher as well. There's so much you can do with it. Your options are only limited by the DSP inside of here. It's about a month later. I've really sunk my teeth into it. I've pretty much tried, at least tried everything it's got to offer, and I've kind of sunk my teeth into what's good about it, what's not so good. But before we get into all that, let's hear it in a quick mix. First thing I did when I plugged this thing in, as most people will do when they plug this in for the first time, is try out all the factory presets. And my advice to you is don't do that. I didn't like any of the factory presets. I thought they all sounded pretty boring and uninspiring. It was actually a pretty disappointing first impressions of the pedal. It seems like Line 6 have tailored the factory presets to show off what the HX Stomp platform can do, without actually trying to make them sound any good. So after those first very mediocre, if not disappointing impressions, I decided to wipe the whole thing completely, start afresh with about 130 new presets, and just start messing around with my own sounds. And this is the first preset I made. It is sort of my first experience of getting my own tone from a modeler and the Stomp in general. So we actually went for a Matchless amp model, which, as you probably know, is like an AC30 type thing, Voxy, and then with a load of pedals, a compressor, a drive, a flanger, and then a bit of delay, and a really crazy ambient reverb. I suppose I should mention the rest of the setup. Let's talk about this pedal first. This is the Native Audio Ghost Ridge reverb pedal. I'm using it in the sort of send and return of the HX Stomp, and I'm basically using it as an always-on amp spring reverb just to free up some DSP on the Stomp. Then I've also got here, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, just in the corner, I've got a Redbeard Honey Badger for a bit of fuzz fun in the front end. So let's hear this preset. I'm currently running it on Stomp Box mode. Let's hear just the amp and the IR, and also obviously the native audio. As soon as I kind of finished off that preset, I was like, I made the right decision getting one of these. This is so good. You can also assign foot switches to do different things and obviously change different parameters. And I've got this pink one here set up to max out the feedback on the analog delay or the analog sounding delay. And that's just a little neat feature. You can pretty much do that with any parameter on anything. In reality, I'm still only scratching the surface of the whole Stomp experience. I knew there was more to come from it. The next thing I did, I decided to try out a load of other people's presets. The great thing about the Stomp is that you can download your favourite artist or YouTuber's presets. I picked a few. I've messed around a lot with Jonathan Cordy's presets. I think I paid like £5 for over 100 presets. And while not all of them are my sort of thing, some of them are mind-blowing, like seriously cool, and shows off exactly what the Stomp is capable of. This one in particular freaked me out. Let's find it. It's just called Synth, and you'll hear it starts doing some crazy stuff as soon as I load it up. That's mind-blowing to me. So essentially what he's created there is a synth that you can control with your feet. Obviously I'm doing it with my hands at the moment because it's up high, but he's using one of the note generator synths inside the Stomp and assigning different notes and chord changes to the snapshot mode. Okay, so while that's a lot of fun and it really does show off what the Stomp can do, more in a more weird sort of way, it still wasn't really me. It wasn't my sort of thing, so I decided to delve a bit deeper into other people's presets, and I'd also heard of this phrase called IRs. And then in comes Michael Westbrook. He makes great presets as well as his own custom IRs, and I will, by the way, I'll link John's and Michael's channels down below. Check them out. Michael really knows his amps, and he spent meticulous hours, I'm sure, of getting custom kind of IRs to work with the amp models inside of here to get them sound as close as possible to the real thing, and I think he's really got a great thing going on here. He also really goes in depth into the amp settings. If we load up, this is my preset actually, but if we load up sort of the amp settings in here. There's like 4 pages of amp settings. You know, hum, sag, and ripple and shit like that. And I don't understand what that means, but Michael sure does, and he really knows how to set those to get certain sounds in with different amps. And inspired by what I'd learnt so far from both John and Michael, I created this next preset, and this is my tweed preset. It's a ripping tweed preset, and I flipping love it. It's actually using one of Michael's IRs. It's a gold EQ blend. I don't know what that means, but it sounds great. And then a few pedals in the front end. Trick that I learned when setting up this preset is that if you assign with this foot switch, or with any foot switch really, I have assigned a level boost from the master output of the unit, and this basically allows you to get a solo boost without using a boost pedal and using up DSP. It's a free volume boost. And there you go, pretty much everything I've learned about the Line 6 HX Stomp XL in about a month. I've still got a lot to learn, obviously. The next thing I sort of want to dive into is more of the snapshots, and sort of, I think they're basically presets within presets. That's sort of my understanding. You can change parameters and engage different pedals just with a click of a foot switch. So I really want to dive into that. I'm sure it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Thanks guys for checking out the video. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and maybe check out some more. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.